और अब आपकी मुलाकात करवाते हैं दो युवा संगीतकारों से, और ये दोनों अपने गुरु के निर्देश में संगीत की शिक्षा को जारी रखते हुए चेन्नई पहुंचे हैं। एक पहुंचे हैं लॉस एंजल्स से आदित्य प्रकाश, और सिंगापुर से पहुंची हैं सुषमा सोमा। अपने गुरु के साथ जब सीखते हुए दोनों एक दूसरे से मिले, संगीत के बारे में जो उनके बीच में एक समझ विकसित हुई, उसको लेकर प्रकृति को विशेष रूप से केंद्र बनाकर एक एल्बम सुषमा ने कंसीव किया जिसका नाम है होम। इन दोनों युवा संगीतकारों से हमने ऑनलाइन बातचीत की। प्रस्तुत है उस बातचीत का ये अंश। Music, as you mentioned, and remember your grandmother also. So there is one way where any musical instrument draws you towards itself, and sometimes you want to be a singer of some kind who is somewhere in your subconscious that I want to be able to sing like that. So from that point of view, music for you, as well as how Carnatic classical music, which is not very easy for a layman sitting in Singapore, and your journey, as earlier you mentioned, through training, while you were exposed, the way you perceive music also have undergone some change. Talk to us about that.
I think, I mean, like you rightly pointed out, growing up in Singapore and then practicing Carnatic music, I think, during those years, a huge part of me was very desperate to have others understand the form. So when I would sing, it was very important to me that my Chinese friends or, even my Indian friends who were not initiated to Carnatic music, I really wanted them to understand the form. And so I would think about what would they like? What would they want to hear? How can I make the music easy for them? And I feel like all of those. So me doing music, it really, and the way I would perform publicly, a lot of it depended on how I thought they would perceive it. And I think that is one of the most important changes that's actually gone through in the last 5 years, with my mentor, R.K. Sriram Kumar. And I'm also very inspired by T.M. Krishna, who is such a brilliant musician and scholar, and my friends Maitri Prakash and also Aditya there. Where, like learning from them, talking and everything, I realized that, in order for others to really follow you on your journey with music or anything that you do, you have to have the conviction in it first. Like I have to believe in the form, I have to believe in the power of the form, um, and I have to love it so much so that when others are listening to me, that love is just so infectious. That journey becomes, like something that everyone wants to come on. And I think that's one of the biggest changes that's happened over the last 5 years. And that's because of the way I think my mentor, just seeing the way he handles the music, the way he loves it himself, and the way he plays with it. And, like it's just the world is an oyster to him because everything he sees is just through music and the way he plays with it. I
So,
realized that, oh my God, I want to be able to achieve that. And the only way I can do it is to fall madly in love with the form that way.
So when
Yeah.
you are in love with somebody, even in person, it is very difficult to explain to another being that what is it about this boy or this girl which kind of makes you think about him or her all the time. The This becomes even more difficult to let people perceive the kind of love that you have. But we are enriched by people who discover it, who share it through their own creative expression. So, uh, and talking to you both tells me that there is so much that we can learn from you. But looking at the limited time that we will have, I want to share the good news that a new album created by Sushma and Aditya is there for us to taste and to enrich and nourish ourselves with music which relates to soul and nature together in a very special manner. So, Aditya, you both have collaborated for this album referred to as Home. Talk to me about how the idea first was floated by Sushma, and In what way you creatively collaborated to come up with the tracks that we have in the album?
Well, Home has been Sushma's brainchild for quite a while. I've over the last 5 years, she's been getting very passionate about environmental causes, and music is obviously a big part of her journey. And on her last album, I was a part of the kind of arrangement process, the behind the scenes. And on this album, she said, I want you to be a part of this. I want you to produce this album for me. And I'd never produced even my own album. I never produced myself. I just started working on it. So I felt this is a big responsibility. How can if I can't even do it for myself, how can I do it for somebody else? And I remember I told her, Sushma, like, I'll try my best, but no promises. But I think she had more faith in me than I had in myself. And she really trusted my vision musically. And I think all of our conversations and us being best friends was a big part of it. And we learned from the same mentors, as she mentioned. So we're kind of in the same way of thinking, the same mode of thinking. And I think this was a big part of what made our combination fit so well.